Hello everyone, I'm Agent Wyvern, and today I thought I would make a brief introductory tutorial to Castlevania Rondo of Blood Dove only. This is a fairly recently added category that there's still, quite a bit to try and optimise in, but I thought since there was some interest in running it lately, I would try and make a sort of basic, overview tutorial of, some of the movement, how to get through some of the levels, and some of the current ideas for the bosses. But if you have any ideas yourself to try and optimise things, I encourage you to try them, and you see what you can come up with. So anyway, let's get on to the different builds of the game you can play. You can play the sort of original version on like PC Engine, Wii Virtual Console, etc. That version does have turbo, which is allowed since it was on the original controller for the PC Engine. You can also play on the PlayStation Portable, PlayStation 4, and I do believe PlayStation 5 version. That version doesn't have turbo, but it does have faster loads, less lag, and one of the bosses randomly has less health. So the PlayStation versions are their own separate category, but it's really good to run on. Either build of the game is really good to run on. So anyway, on to the Dove Only category itself. So Dove Only is similar to Maria Only in that you start, or time starts when you gain control of Maria, when you pick stage 1, and time ends when you collect the red orb after defeating Dracula. So you don't have to play, for this category, you don't have to play on a fresh file, you obviously have to play on a file with Maria already unlocked. So the key difference though between Dove Only and Maria Only is that in Dove Only the Guardian Knuckle move, which is like the sort of half circle input followed by the attack button, that is banned, that's not allowed, and also the using of one of Maria's animal sub-items isn't allowed. You can pick them up, so if you accidentally get a drop and pick one up, it won't invalidate your run, you are allowed to pick them up, but you can't use them. So as long as you don't use them, you're fine. You can pick up any food, any potions and rosaries, all that's fine, you can pick up any of them. It's just the Guardian Knuckles, and it's just the using of any of Maria's items, sub-items rather. So what can Maria do? So she has the basic Dove attack, where the Dove Only category gets its name. You can only have 2 fired at any one time. If you sort of walk towards the direction you fired it, you can pick it up a little quicker, or if you walk away, it takes a bit longer. That can sort of affect how quickly you can fire, so that's something to bear in mind. Maria also has a double jump, which really gives her a lot more options than sort of if you were playing as Richter. Maria definitely has a lot more places she can get to with that double jump. She can also roll by holding down, forward, and then pressing the jump button. You will roll forward once. If you are on the original version of the game and have turbo, you can hold the turbo jump button while holding down and forward, and Maria will roll right across. She also has a slide move by just holding down and then pressing forward. So you don't do the forward input, she will just slide instead of roll. I don't believe the slide is any slower than the roll. I think they're actually the same speed, but I think people just prefer the roll in general because you're doing a deliberate forward input, so you're always going in the direction you intend to. But yeah, that's the sort of basic movement. The slide actually, I should say the slide is used in one place really, but for the most part we're just going to be using the roll. Anyway, that's basic movement out of the way. Let's go to the menu now and we will prepare to start the run, and we'll then go over the levels. Right, so from File Select, we're gonna pick our file, we're gonna swap to Maria, and we're gonna start on stage 1. So not stage 0, you don't have to do the prologue in Maria only, start on stage 1. And so the first screen of the level here is going to involve some randomly spawning skeletons. There's usually a few of them each time, and they will be in slightly different positions. So the movement here is just going to be rolling towards them, firing a dove, and then continue rolling on. So we're going to roll, jump, and for this platform here, if you are like holding turbo roll, you will actually jump when you're in midair the second or the moment you roll off, and you will actually hit the skeleton. So you'll do this basically, and that's not good. So to avoid that, you just want to make sure you roll here, but then you are not holding jump. You do not press jump when you are sort of off the edge here. So something like this. Roll, jump, roll off the edge. Sort of like that. Maybe without the hesitation. Hello? So, like that. And then dove that skeleton. Dove that skeleton. There is a cat in this torch. It's okay if you pick it up. Personally, I prefer not to, because I don't want to accidentally use it. It's the using of the sub-item that will invalidate the run. So I personally prefer to jump over it if it drops there, or if I hit it rather, because it will always drop. So roll, jump, roll off the edge, dove the skeletons that are in our way, and we can move on to the second screen. So, second screen. We want to double jump up onto these stairs, and then to land on the stairs we want to hold up. Then once we're on the stairs here, so about here we want to jump slightly to the right and then to the left, so we can catch the sort of second to bottom step here, or the second step, yes. So we land on the second step, and that will take us straight onto this screen. So it's going to look something like this: double jump, 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 and like that. One more time: double jump onto the stairs, jump, jump. Oh. Well, that is a danger, is getting hit there. You do want to sort of be careful. There is a glitch actually on this screen. If you get hit very late on the previous screen, you will actually take the hit on this screen, and then Maria will fall off the stairs and into the death barrier and die. So we don't really want that. So this screen is very similar to the first one. We just want to hold right and jump here off the stairs, and then dove all of the skeletons in our way. Just like that. Then walking down the stairs. Now to get off of the stairs we want to press down and jump. When you're trying to get off stairs that are like sort of, you can see the stairs are part of a platform here, like we're surrounded by these blocks. There's certain like frames of walking here where it won't register the down and jump input. You can't fall through. So basically, just whatever you can though, down and jump, and then you will get through to these blocks. So you can roll in between these two staircases as well. Get to these blocks, fire 2 doves to get through these blocks. Now this section, there's a couple of different ways to get through it. There's not a massive time difference between them, but we basically want to, the quickest way I know of is to roll off the platform here, fire a dove around when you're sort of under this candle, and then you'll land on the table, then roll off the table. But instead of rolling off like we did earlier, like that, you want to actually do a roll off with a jump. So either whether that's turbo jump, or just sort of timing the jump input. So you double jump and roll off and double jump like that, and then you will want to roll across the stairs and the rest of the platform. So it should look something like this. So you noticed I hesitate there. Ideally you don't want to hesitate. It's just that it's very tricky to roll over stairs in my opinion, because if you try and roll over stairs and if you're holding down anywhere near a staircase, it will start walking down, and that's not what you want. So one more time, dove, roll off there, and then roll like that. So the easier method though is to simply get to the table, jump onto the platform, and then just double jump over, and that doesn't really lose much time at all, to be honest. But I thought I'd just show the sort of different possible methods anyway. So next we want to go down here, double jump before you hit the ground so you don't clunk and lose a few frames. Then break through these blocks, then roll towards this door, and then there's just one more room to go before our first boss. So for this bucket room, we're going to want to double jump onto the first bucket, jump onto the sort of upper right platform there, then jump, hesitate slightly, ever so slightly, before we do a single jump onto the next bucket, and then we go to one more bucket, then double jump to the top. Okay, let me try and show that properly. Double jump, jump, hesitate, jump, double jump, double jump. So a bit like that. So one more time, we want to go double jump, jump, hesitate slightly, jump, double jump, double jump. There we go. And now we are at our first boss, the serpent. So you will notice certainly the bosses for the Dove only run are certainly could probably be optimized more. So if you've got any better ideas of how to do it sort of a bit quicker with Dove only, feel free to try it. You might come up with something quicker. So For this, we want to try and get a single dove hit on each of its first 2 attacks here. So we're going to go dove, dove, and then this is the interesting one. The third attack, it can come up either to the left or to the right of you. You're going to want to try and start jumping and throwing doves as quickly as possible to try and get like sort of 2 lots of hits in before then trying to quickly crouch, so in case you get hit by the water attack you won't get knocked back and waste time, and then you might be able to get 1 or 2 more hits in. So the third attack is usually the most important, so you don't want to do that. You want to sort of do a neutral jump here so you don't accidentally jump into the boss. So like that, and hopefully don't get hit in the air. Then crouch, and then that boss will have sort of that much health. Then a hit on the 4th attack. You can get 2 hits on the corkscrew attack. I'm not very good at it, unfortunately, and there's the end of the boss. So let's just go from that 3rd attack again. Didn't get too many hits in that time. So these overarching attacks can also go in all sorts of random annoying directions, which is never fun, but it's not too bad to at least get through. Let's see which side it's on this time. Okay, and that's the first boss really, and that's the first level of Dove Only. The earliest I have been able to defeat that boss is sort of like I think it's the first corkscrew attack that you can probably, if you're quick or good with the timing of the doves, you can defeat it maybe a little bit quicker. So we're going to collect the orb and then move on to level 2. Right, so stage 2. So this is where this sort of RNG of Rondo starts to become a bit more apparent. So there's skeleton knights here, which will give you one of 2 patterns. They will either charge you or they will try and jump, sort of do a jumping slash attack on you. You've got to try and hit them quite quickly. So you have to roll into them. You'll hit them. They get knocked back, and then you'll have to roll forward and hit them again to defeat them. If you don't hit them quickly, there is a sort of 50% chance it will do a charge attack. And if it does the charge attack, that's it. The skeleton is locked in place and it's coming for you at that point. It will no longer take knockback. So that's something to be careful of. Also, there are bone pillars that will fire all sorts of nasty fireball patterns at you, which aren't fun to deal with at all. So you'll have to sort of, there's a bit of improvisation, and that's kind of Rondo as a whole. There's sometimes you kind of have to improvise to the different RNG you get. So let's give this a go. So we're going to roll up to this first skeleton, fire a dove, roll, fire the second one. You could see there it was trying to do a charge attack. So we're just sort of making sure we don't fall into these pits. We're doing single jumps over the bone pillars. Some people like to do quick double jumps like that. Doesn't make too much of a difference. I prefer single jumps rather than like turboed regular jumps. You can see here though, if you stop for a second on this screen, how quickly things can get out of control though. So let's do that again. So roll forward, dove, dove, jump over the bone pillar, quickly roll so we don't fall down the pit, jump over, and we double jumped in midair there because that fireball would have hit us if I had carried on with the normal movement. So we tried to do a bit of improvisation there, and then jump, and there we are at the end of this screen. So it takes a bit of practice and getting used to. A lot of people do complain about this screen because of all the randomness from the bone pillars especially that can happen. But, you know, you'll get there eventually. It's just about improvisation, I think, and just getting used to the different fireballs. Like sometimes you will see a fireball and you already know where it's going. You know how it's going to end, and so you try and adapt accordingly. Okay. Next screen there is one more bone pillar, and then there is a gargoyle that we are going to try and roll off and throw a dove at. The gargoyle can go different ways. Sometimes it will just die to the dove, sometimes it will just hide below you. There's a few different patterns, but it's usually not too much of a problem. So, next screen, jump over the bone pillar. That can sometimes give you bad RNG, and one of those fireballs can hit you again. Let's see if we can get one of those patterns maybe. Jump over the bone pillar, roll off here, and so you see that time the gargoyle went below us. The gargoyle shouldn't usually be a problem. There is food in here. If you took a lot of damage actually on the first screen, if you took a lot of damage, there is food in this block here. There we go. So basically what we want to do is there's a boat below us that we want to get on here. So there's two ways. You can either sort of go, we can roll off the platform here, then do a double jump to reach it, which is ever so slightly quicker. So like this. Like that, but that is a little bit risky. It's not too tight of a timing, but it's very easy to miss. So let's just show that one more time. Roll off the edge here. There we go, made it again, but it's a very much a scary moment. But the other way, you can simply just roll across the gap here, roll down here, and you're on the boat. Again, very little time difference either way. So once we're on the boat though, it's pretty much an auto-scroller now till the end of the level. There's no boss going this way, which is always nice. So you can either sort of crouch around here, and there's like different ways you can sort of dodge the mermen. I prefer to stand near the front of the boat and just fire doves. Maybe walk a bit backwards and forwards a little bit, just to try and avoid the mermen. But it's not too bad. You kind of get used to the pattern, the different patterns that appear and how the mermen work. The ones behind you are almost never a problem. But yeah, this is really just an auto-scroller. Just make sure you don't get hit. Or if you know you're about to get hit, let me try and demonstrate here. Crouch. Because when you're crouching in Rondo, you don't take knockback unless you're attacking. If you're in an attack animation, as you're crouching, you will still get knocked back and you will fly off the boat and it will be a very bad time. So now you will reach the second half of this where they suddenly speed up. So you just have to be a little bit careful here. Well, yeah, what was I saying about the ones behind you not hitting you? Usually they don't. And then you can jump off the boat and we're on to stage 3. Right, stage 3. So what we want to do is roll towards the Mugmen pit here, double jump over, roll off this platform, hit that gravestone with a dove, and then roll to here towards the mini-boss. Now that happened quite quickly, so let's try and slow it down. Roll here, double jump across, roll off here, hit the gravestone. Sometimes it will jump over you quickly and you might miss it, but it's not too big of a problem. If you get here really quickly, the bat may spawn at the bottom here, and you'll have to dove it before you continue. So let's see if I can get that to happen. Double jump across the gap, jump, roll off, and there we go. I had to quickly stop and hit that bat. You kind of get used to that pattern. The bats are almost on like a timer or a cycle, so you get used to it. Right, the purple skull. This is kind of annoying to do without a sub item. The best way I've found so far is to sort of take an intentional hit, and then in the few iframes that you get, then deal with the eyes. But I'll try and show a couple of different methods here. So let's get here. Let's crouch here. Take that, jump back, double jump, throw the doves. Let's show that again. Jump back, jump to the left, sorry, is maybe a better way of saying it. Jump left, but as you jump to the left, face right, fire a dove, then double jump, then fire another dove. So let's show that one more time. So take the damage, jump left, face right, fire the doves, double jump, fire another dove. I did take an accidental hit there, but oh well, it's fine. So next we're going to wait for the skull to disappear. We're going to jump on here, then we're going to fall down, double jump across the gap, but on the height of the second jump, throw the dove to get rid of a skeleton that will always jump at you. So walk down, double jump across, fire that, walk onto that platform, and then double jump across to the door. And we're through the first part of stage 3 already. Okay, next, to deal with this next enemy, there's a couple of different ways again to deal with it. So the quickest way is to do what we sort of call an iframe roll, where we throw a dove at an enemy, and while you're hitting an enemy, it won't damage you, and so you can roll through it. It's a little annoying sometimes to sort of get the timing down initially, but it's not too bad with a bit of practice. But there is an alternate method I'll get to in a second. But first, let's try the iframe roll. So I use this candle here as a visual cue. As Maria's sort of walking towards the end of this candle, I then throw a dove and start rolling. Visual cues might be a little different depending, how you get used to it. So, but I always recommend trying to come up with some sort of visual cue. I do like this candle though, so like that, and we just roll through. So let's just do that in one motion if I can. Oh, and that time I missed. It is slightly easy to miss. Oh goodness. Hang on, one more time if I can get it. There we go. So sort of towards the edge of the candle, not really the middle of the candle, towards the edge of the candle seems to work as a decent visual cue. But the much easier method is if you just jump in front of this enemy, it will always jump over you, and it doesn't really lose much time to the iframe roll. So just like that. It's usually a fairly big window to jump, but just jump in front of the enemy and he will always roll under you. Now, on this hill here, I wouldn't recommend doing a turbo roll, because for some reason on some sloped surfaces like this, Maria sometimes thinks she's in the air, and you will double jump. So it's best to sort of try and time your rolls out if you can, because hang on, out of my way. If I just sort of do a turbo roll, that can happen. You can just randomly jump. So just roll standardly down the hill, double jump under that skeleton. If you jump earlier, you can just throw a dove at that skeleton, that's fine. Then onto this screen, we're going to want to jump onto the platform, then double jump over to that platform we see on the left. Then there's 2 balls and chains. You don't have to hit the first one. If you hit the chain of either of them, they will fall, but you have to hit the second one because that unlocks the boss area. So, up the stairs, jump, double jump here. This bone pillar can give you all sorts of RNG, but then hit this. Now we're going to fall down the hole, but there is a spike ball at the bottom, and we want to jump to the right. We want to use our double jump to the right before we hit it. So let's try that. Like that. So if you don't do that, if you just fall onto it, you will always go to the left like that, and that's obviously wasting time rolling into that wall. So we want to try and jump. You want to try and jump not too early, because if you jump too early, you will clonk and lose some frames. Again, it's not a massive time loss, but it's something to bear in mind. Now, we approach the stage 3 boss, Dogever. Dogever is known for being rather random, but we're just going to roll across here, jump, roll, roll, double jump before you hit the ground, and then walk down these stairs. Right, Future Wyvern here. I realised something about this boss after I first recorded stage 3, so I'm just redoing this bit. So we're going to crouch around here. We don't want to be too far to the left or too far to the right, otherwise the lasers can really send us flying. So what we want to do is when Dogever spawns, we want to keep firing doves at Dogever until he teleports. And then I like to wait on this platform and see where he reappears, and then try and react to where he is, and then fire the last few doves to win. Dogever can teleport all over the place. He can be rather annoying, and it does require sort of adapting on the fly a little bit. But something I realised is that when we're firing the first round of doves, I noticed that sometimes I was getting hit by the laser, sometimes I wasn't. At first I thought it was just about the position I was crouching, but it's actually about if you're actually hitting Dogever when the laser crosses your hitbox, you won't take damage, and I think that's actually what's happening. So I was here messing around with the position for a while, but I don't think it's too important. So let's fire the doves. See, we didn't take damage there. So now we're waiting for Dogever to teleport. That was a pretty nice teleport, and that was a really quick fight. So let's try that again. So fire the doves again. See, we took damage that time because we weren't hitting Dogever when the laser hit us. Dogever's now trying to do the rock attack, but it's okay. It's not too bad of a fight, to be honest. In this category, it tends to feel a lot worse in Maria Only, where you can miss a Guardian Knuckle and it can all go horribly wrong. But this is not too bad as long as you keep the dove attacks up on Dogever. And now we move on to stage 4. Right, so stage 4. This first screen is interesting in that there's a lot of... It feels nice to get through it well, but if it goes off course ever, the birds with bad RNG can cause all sorts of problems. I always find these stairs are a bit annoying as well, because a bit like in stage 1, for some reason I've always found trying to roll over stairs really difficult, and it's very easy to sort of get caught on them like that. So I'm going to go through this and I'll try and sort of explain as I go. So roll, jump, roll, roll, roll off, double jump up, single jump, roll and then double jump in the air, delayed double jump there, roll off those stairs, throw a dove as you double jump there to get rid of that frog, and then double roll and then double jump in the air to land on this platform. Okay, let's just go through that one more time. So roll, jump, roll off the edge, delayed double jump rather, roll off the edge, then a late double jump there, roll off that, roll off those stairs, double jump, then throw the dove to get rid of the frog, and a double jump there, and we're all good to go. Okay, so this screen, there is some RNG in terms of the skeletons. The frogs on this screen will do the same thing every time, a bit like the last screen, but there are random skeletons that can drop down from above, and you usually have to stop and throw a dove at them when you see them about to fall, otherwise they will hit you. So let's give that a go. So we can just roll and jump across the gap, double jump up here, roll up until the first frog, fight the skeleton, roll under them, and as you when you roll in front of one of the frogs, they will always jump over you. You can attack them with a dove as well. That might even be slightly quicker actually. So let's try it that way this time. So you roll up to a frog, throw a dove. That one caught a skeleton. This is annoying though. This is the annoying thing, is that they can fall from all sorts of angles, which makes them a little bit tricky to deal with at times if the timing of them is unusual. So again, you can throw a dove or you can just let them jump over you. It works either way. But it's not too bad. Like, that was decent RNG that time as well. Now, this next screen is the easiest screen in the game. We just have to roll off here and then just roll all the way to the gate. This is Fleeman Alley. This is where Fleeman will fall from above if you aren't going this quickly. But obviously, don't have to worry about that. Nice and easy. Just roll to the gate and we're all good to go. So this is just the room before Dullahan now. We're going to roll, double jump, roll, 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 and at the door. So, this boss fight, we're going to take an intentional damage boost again here. So what we're going to do is we're going to bombard Dullahan with the doves. We are going to duck under the first lance, but not too close, because when Dullahan retracts his lance, you can often get caught by it. So you kind of want to move back and try and judge, how close you want to be. Then he's going to do his ice attack, and when he does this, we are going to quickly crouch and absorb the damage, and then we won't have to worry about it. If we're too far away, we can get hit twice by the ice, but if we're somewhat close, then we just need to crouch once, absorb the damage without any knockback, and then go back to firing doves again. So let's try it. See how well this goes. Oh, now that's what happens when you get too close to the lance. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, double KO. Let's try that again. So, doves. Duck under the lance, continue firing doves. Absorb the hit. Don't get too close to the lance this time, Wyvern. And there we go. And that's a decently okay Dullahan fight there. These, oh, by the way, I should mention, all of the bosses do a little desperation attack at the end there. It's always a good idea to take them, except for the one of Shaft, who is the stage 6 boss, because that one can kill you, which is not good, obviously. So we avoid that. So you can grab this orb. As soon as it turns red, I like to double jump off that platform, and we get that, and we move on to stage 5. Right, so stage 5. This is an interesting stage. It is probably the most notorious stage in all of the speedrun categories. It tends to cause a lot of problems and has quite a lot of RNG. So let's get started. So we're going to want to roll right off this first platform here, immediately jump, hold the jump button to jump over that enemy, roll across there, double jump over there, and over that last enemy, then just roll before that sword skeleton can land on you. Let's just slow that down a little bit. So you can just sort of do it like this. Just no rush. Don't have to roll across here. Don't need to take any risks. Just take a double jump there and double jump over the last. I'm not actually sure what those skeletons are called, but the last fishing skeleton maybe. Right. Okay. This room. We're going to want to roll right up to the archer and try and jump over him. You can start jumping earlier and do like a double jump as well. You can sort of adjust this to, however you wish to do it. So we're going to roll. Oh, that was too close. Like that. And then down here, you can sort of, as I said, you can do the double jump like that. Again, multiple different ways to do it. Then for this room, we're going to roll off here and then land on the platform. Roll off that, which will jump us over the skeleton skeleton archer if it's quick enough. Something to note actually, if you are using turbo jump a lot for the rolls, if you say if I roll off here now and then I'm still holding jump, I will just jump in the air, and that's not what we want. So we want to sort of roll off, do that, and then wait till we land and then hold, roll and jump again. So something like this. Like that. And so now we reach Troll Sword. Now this is difficult to deal with. There's a sword that will move all around the screen and you have to hit that specific sword. Sometimes it will come down right away and it'll be really quick. Sometimes you'll be waiting a while. It is a very annoying RNG element that there's not too much we can do about in this category. I found that it seems to have a higher chance to come down if you get rid of some of the other weapons that are trying to attack you as well, but you know, it's not always easy to do. Okay, let's see. So in this case, we get a pretty nice one. Maria does have a double jump, so it's not as bad as it is with Richter, but it can be quite annoying. Like if I've already made a save state there now, but it can be quite annoying if you get a really awkward pattern where it floats along the top somewhere. So you just have to sort of get used to dodging some of the weapons or you know, fighting back against them. Right, next skeleton archers, we are just going to roll into this room and then just bombard the skeleton archers. If you get too close to that one, it will jump over you. You don't necessarily need it to. You can just sort of hit from a distance here. Oh, or maybe it's going to jump over anyway. Either way, take out these 3 skeletons quickly with doves, then roll to this painting. So this painting has a lot of iframes, meaning you can't continuously hit it. So you kind of just have to jump and dove like this. It will take several doves. You don't need to double jump. You don't need to, because if you double jump, you can sometimes clunk as well, and it can just, well, not clunk, sorry, but you can sometimes just throw your timing off. Just a single jump, a regular single jump, and a lot of doves will do it. So this door here, something I should mention about that is if you get through that section of rooms quick enough, there's different cycles that you can catch. Like that door will not open unless the ship is in a particular part of its motion of like rocking up and down. So you can often sort of catch or lose like, you know, 3 or 4 seconds just from which door cycle you make. Okay, so we just want to ignore that up the stairs. Roll off here, and now we're going to be trying something called the iframe rolls. So we're going to, a bit like we did in stage 3, we are going to try and throw a dove and then roll through this enemy. Now a good visual cue, actually let's just get rid of it a moment, a good visual cue to throw this dove is around here, around where Maria is sort of stood here in between the gap between the first and second shield. So let's just try it here. I'm not sure, this might be a bad save state now, hang on. Oh, not like that. Like that, there we go. And so you just want to, it does take a little bit of practice, and you might want to like find your own visual cue for this. I'm not sure this is a great save state, but there we go. And then for the second one, you want to sort of do it about halfway through this candle, around where that first candle is. You know how these are like double candlesticks? Around where the first candlestick of this candle here is around where's a good point to throw it. Oh, hello. This is not easy. I wish it was. There we go. Like that. And if you don't want to do that, like I would not recommend starting with that. You can simply just dove down these green guards. If you feel like you've got there late, so for example, if you just start attacking now, you will probably want to leave before and not just take the hit. Like if you definitely arrive there and start attacking late, you'll want to run away, and then once he's done his attack, you can then roll back. Sometimes when he's off screen, he's still charging the attack. He charges another attack as you run away. A bit like this. So if I walk back now, oh, he'll actually despawn and then reappear over here. Confusing. Anyway, yeah, these fleamen that are riding the birds are very annoying to deal with. They're not fun. This is a very annoying part of the run, certainly. So let's see if we can get this again. There we go. Right, this last one, the easiest way is just to defeat it like this. You can jump over if you time it, and then you'll get hit into there. Now, I have seen it where sometimes he will turn around as you're jumping, like that. I don't quite know how to do that consistently yet, but that's definitely the fastest way if you can do it. To just quickly double jump over there, and before he even starts swinging the mace, he's like turned around, and then you don't get hit at all and can move on pretty quickly. So then just double jump across there, throw a dove into that enemy there, and now we are in the room before death. Now, depending on if you took any hits in this level, I would maybe recommend some of the food. There is food in this block here, but the movement generally in this room. There's a single jump up here. You can actually hold jump before, like while it's loading there, and you will like jump as soon as possible, basically. So if I just hold jump and left here, I'll jump up, and then double jump there, jump, double jump, double jump, double jump, double jump, jump, and here we. Interesting. So sometimes if you're too quick or you don't scroll the camera properly, the fight won't start. I haven't actually seen that yet, so that's a new one. So right, this is probably one of like the two tricky fights. There's three tricky fights in this particular run. There isn't really that much in the way of great speedrun strats for this at the moment. Really, we're just throwing doves towards death. The current idea is to try and aim towards the sort of centre of his torso, trying to be sort of horizontally level with him, and so that as your dove pushes him away, it will almost, if you're close enough, it'll almost chase Death and then hit him a second time. And so you can sometimes chain hits together quite quickly, but the Death scythes can go everywhere and can be really annoying to deal with if you get bad RNG. Most of the scythes usually head towards whatever Maria or Richter, Maria's position was when those scythes spawned. So they don't always do this, and sometimes they can go in really random directions, but most of the scythes that spawn will head to wherever you were when they first appeared. So you can kind of use that knowledge to your advantage to try and sort of dodge them better. But let's give this a go. Let's see if we can. Wait, I usually like to delay here before initially hitting him, but you can never quite guarantee what sort of initial pattern Death's going to give you. He can go in quite a few different directions, and so you just try and keep the hits piling on Death here, because the longer Death goes without being hit, the more scythes he spawns. So really, you just want to keep getting quantity of hits that you can without taking too much damage, because Maria is very much sort of a glass cannon. She's very powerful, but she doesn't take many hits. Like, even though it looks like our health bar there is about 3/4 full, we are about 2 scythe hits from sort of dying, so that's not good. Right, so this is a sort of intermittent phase here, where we just have to dodge these skulls. If you get hit by one of these skulls, he will do a second round of them. So you really don't want to get hit by them, and he'll keep doing rounds of them until you don't get hit. Now this last phase, we just want to stand on the left here, and then when he drops down, we want to basically spam the doves. That's the story of this run, isn't it? But he will do a slice attack that you want to sort of get used to the timing of the dodge. I've noticed that the audio for the scythe swing here is slightly before he actually does it, so you can sometimes use that to like duck as soon as you hear something. Let's give it a go. And like this. Oh, now, luckily that happened because I was going to nearly forget to mention that. Unlike Richter, who will only get sent back a little bit, if Maria gets hit by that scythe attack, even if you're like near the middle of the boat, you can end up rolling all the way off the mast here. So you really don't want to get hit by that, really, wherever you are on the mast. So that was not the quickest here. If you take any longer than that, then he'll do a he will jump up and do like a forward flip sort of roll sonic spin dash attack, which is you kind of want to avoid that as well. But we'll just try that one more time, see if we can get it any quicker. See now, like often you'll find with Maria's doves, they will do like 2 hits, one on the way there and one on the way back. And just sort of practicing your spacing really, and trying to get close to some of the enemies can help. Okay, let's collect the orb and move on to stage 6, which is the boss rush. Right, so stage 6, the boss rush. So this is mainly about throwing as many doves as possible and sort of getting used to the boss's attacks and what sort of the best ways are to dodge them. So let's just roll there, single jump onto the stairs and single jump up to here, and then just roll straight to the door. Right, so the first boss is the Bat Boss, and so this is probably one of the more notable RNG of the bosses in this boss rush. You kind of want to keep hitting him with doves when he sort of spawns and stops sort of flashing. And then he'll eventually throw a fireball, and you've kind of got to hope the doves you're throwing hit the fireball. It's easier to sort of move back a bit and then continue firing the doves, and usually it will hit the fireball unless the bat's movement is being really mean. You can time it as well, you can learn to time it as well. You don't need to just sort of spam it if you don't want to. So let's have a go at this. So we go... That's a good pattern, but he does, yeah, sometimes he'll go into you like that, sometimes he'll move up, sometimes he'll move down, it's all over the place. And something I should mention, actually, since I don't think I've actually mentioned it yet somehow, is that at the end of each level, the game will count down how much health you have left and how many hearts you have left. So really, throughout this run, you want to pick up as few hearts as you can get away with, really. Like if in a normal run, if you really wanted to, you could use the sub item to get rid of any excess hearts if that's what you wanted to do, but because there is no sub item in this, there is no way to get rid of any hearts that you pick up. So any heart that you pick up in the game, that's going to contribute towards the countdown at the end of every level. So that's something to bear in mind. And as for health, it's not a huge time loss. But if you can take any sort of extra hits, like during one of the boss's desperation attacks, that can be helpful as well, just to reduce the countdown at the end a little bit. Okay, so the next boss in this boss rush is Medusa. And she takes what we call double hits, but we're not quite sure how they work. I first noticed them with Richter, where sometimes Richter's whip would like hit twice, and I could never quite understand why. It seems to be more common with Maria's doves, though. If you sort of stay quite close to Medusa and just spam the dove attacks, you will often, more often than not, at least get some double hits. So let's see how it goes. So let's just do that. Roll towards Medusa. Crouch under that blue laser attack because it will turn you to stone. I don't think we got any double hits that time. Let's try it again. Oh, that looked like a couple there. So you'll sort of see with Medusa sort of flashes like twice quickly, like there. Couple of double hits, but you know, it's always nice to get extra damage. So that's Medusa. Now, next boss is the Mummy. This one is a little bit tricky. You basically want to just spam doves as normal. You want to be crouching for this so you don't get hit by the initial bandage attack. But then as soon as you start spawning the blocks, you want to be trying to climb those blocks as quickly as possible. I find it's easiest with just single jumps. Don't like try and quickly do double jumps. At least this is what I found to be easy. Just single standard jumps up the blocks, and then when you reach the very top block, then you do like a delayed double jump to get all the way to like the other side of the Mummy. This is so that all the wrappings that come and like cover the screen don't hit you, because they can chain together really quickly, and with how few iframes Maria has, you can die pretty quickly. So let's see if we can give this a go. So just throw doves, and then you see the blocks appear, and we make it all the way over like that. So there's the food. Okay, one more time. So just throw the doves like this, and then when we see the blocks appear, jump, 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 double jump, like that. And then just throw the doves and finish off the Mummy. The Mummy drops food. It's up to you whether you feel confident enough to pick it up or to skip it. I usually like to pick it up. But again, if you skip it, that's just a little bit less health to count down at the end. So next is Frankenstein. So Frankenstein will initially try to grab you. So we want to sort of throw a few doves, and then once you hear the audio cue of him going, huh? Not a good impression, but once you hear that audio cue, it's time to move back just a little bit. You don't have to move back too far, and then continue throwing doves. Then Frankenstein will jump in the air, and you kind of want to try and jump to match him just to get a few more dove hits in. He will then throw an electricity attack, which you can either duck to just reduce the knockback of and keep firing, or if you really want to save your health for Shaft, you can sort of wait till he's about to throw it and then jump out of the way of it. So let's see how this goes. So we just go. Oh, it's really whoa! Don't usually see him walk that far back. So up in the air there. So when he does jump up in the air there, rocks will hit you, or rocks will fall from the ceiling. I could have sworn I didn't take damage from that electricity there. I took damage, I think, from the hand, but anyway, that was random. But let's try that again. So doves, dodge the grab, up in the air, throw the doves while he's in the air, move out of the way of the rocks. I'm just gonna. I didn't take damage from the electricity again. Oh, it must have been. Okay, so it must be when you're hitting Frankenstein with the doves, when he's hitting you with the electricity. It must be like that Dogever laser attack back in stage 3, where you just don't take any damage because you're hitting the boss. So that's interesting. That's something that seems to happen quite a lot in this category. You're hitting the bosses with so many doves. That means you're almost invincible to a lot of their attacks, it seems. Okay. So yeah, as I said, a lot of this is still being figured out and understood. So on to the Shaft boss. Now this can be a tricky fight. The idea here is to sort of just keep rolling towards him and keep hitting him as quickly as possible. Try and keep him teleporting so he doesn't cycle through his attacks. When he stops to charge up an attack, you can get a lot of hits in, but it can get scary, especially the lightning attack. That one can be really awkward to dodge. So let's see if I can show you what I mean here. So wait till the orbs have appeared. I think usually when they reach the top of their movement is a good time to hit. Roll towards Shaft. You can sort of see where he's teleporting nicely, so that kind of helps a little bit. So you can see he's charging up the fireball attack now. It's kind of awkward to dodge them. So again, I wasn't too quick there. If I was a little bit quicker, I would have been able to sort of maybe hit him and then force him to do another teleport or two. So there we go. We kind of saw the third attack there. The third attack is just the two balls will sort of try and circle around each other and try to hit you. But let's see if we can do that any quicker here. One more time. Okay, so we went this way this time. So you can see you get a lot of hits in when he does charge up one of the attacks. Oh, and see, this is what I mean about the lightning attack. It is very, very scary. Because the patterns can be annoying, and the straight wall of light, and like a straight wall of lightning is quite the problem. So this desperation attack, unlike all the other bosses, can actually kill you. So I think like even this much health, I think would be enough for bad things to happen. So we're gonna avoid this desperation attack. I don't know why it's just this one desperation attack. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it was an intentional way to mess with you. I don't know. So we're gonna jump on the platform here, and then miss the orb. Try maybe not to do that. Maybe try and time that a little better than I can. So that's the end of stage 6, and we move on to stage 7. Right, so stage 7, the last full level before Dracula. So to start, we have what's called the Bat Bridge, and basically there are bats that are constantly following you behind you. That's not too bad as Maria because you're rolling so quickly they'll never really catch you. But there's often bats that can spawn in front of you as well. There's one that can spawn near the beginning and then usually one that can spawn near the end. They often will spawn relative to your height, to whatever position you are on the screen. Whatever position you are on the screen. Usually that's rolling, so they're in roughly the same sort of positions. but they can often move up and down, and where they are in that cycle can determine whether it's maybe best to just jump over it, roll under it, just attack it with doves. Usually I just go with the attack it with doves option just to be safe. So let's see what sort of RNG. You can get RNG where you just roll across this bridge and there's nothing there. So let's see what we have on this occasion. So there's the first one. Just 2 doves will do it, and then we can continue on rolling. And then there's a possibility for a second one near the end. Not too much else to this really. Okay, so we get both of them. Oh, got to be careful because the platform is crumbling beneath you, so you don't want to get stuck. But luckily with a double jump, it should be fine. So then just roll into this door. Right, so this room is interesting. I'm still struggle with the movement on this room quite a bit at times. So we're going to be, as soon as we can, literally as soon as we have control of Maria after the loading screen, we are going to instantly roll and then jump up to that staircase. If we are quick enough, that skeleton will move back and not jump at us. Usually during the jump to the staircase, I will throw a dove anyway, just to be certain in case I wasn't quick enough. But yeah, if you are quick enough, it shouldn't jump towards you. Then it's going to be a case of jumping almost side to side all the way up this clock tower, trying to dodge the skeleton bones as well. You kind of get used to where the bones are thrown by the skeletons. There's one in particular that it can be a little bit of a problem. I'll try and point it out towards the top. Okay, let's give it a go. So jump, 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 double jump up there. That's the sort of scary bone. I like to jump there, and jump there. I know that's not a great explanation, I'm sorry. It's kind of difficult to describe really climbing up this tower, but see the skeleton move back there. Double jump up there, jump on there, 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 and then one jump over that section there. So yeah, that can take a little bit of practice. It's certainly a bit of an annoying part, but it can be cool once you sort of get it right a few times. Right. So onto the harpy room here. We want to roll, and then we're actually oh, hang on. So we can either roll or just slide down there, but usually you can just roll. So roll there, but don't land is maybe what I'm trying to say. Don't land like that. Just double jump to the right before you land. Then you have to slide down that cog there. That's because it reduces Maria's hitbox, so she can sort of fit there. Rolling won't work. So if I try rolling here, it's not happening. Or even if I try walking, it's not happening. Like, you can actually sort of sometimes walk like this, at least you can with Richter, and that's how you get gear skip. But with Maria, it's pretty consistent. You just slide down, and then you want to double jump before you hit the bottom, because if you don't, this harpy will grab you and always double hit you, and it's a lot of damage to deal with. So let's just take that from the top here. Roll. I like to slide, but you can roll, slide. Oh, now sometimes that can happen. You get stuck there and then you get caught by the harpy. I think that happens when you sort of start sliding too close to the left. Like, how do I explain this? So I think sometimes if you slide down here from like here, I think sometimes you can get caught, or maybe not. I don't know. It's one of those things I don't fully understand. Yeah, I seem to rush quite quickly there and I got caught again, so let's try and avoid that. This is confusing me now, but oh. So you can just throw a dove to get rid of that harpy as well. It's entirely up to you, but you basically double jump before you hit the ground, and you shouldn't get caught if you manage to get through the gap between the two gears. Right, so for this room, we want to double jump up to the stairs, double jump up to this platform, double jump here to the left and then to the right, then directly up in a neutral double jump, again neutral double jump to the left, straight up, and then one to the right and then one to the left. Let's try that again, see if I can explain it a little better. So double jump on the stairs, double jump to this platform, double jump, up, then we go right, then directly up, left, directly up, and then one right, one left, like that. Okay, now this next room is another one where there's a few different ways to do it. I'm going to try and show the fastest way first, but I might not get it here because I do struggle with this a lot, but let's give it a go. So we're just going to roll off this platform here, jump there, and then I'm going to do an iframe roll, but with an intentional damage boost. So we're going to get halfway through the enemy, then we're going to get damaged on all the way down to the next section. So let's see. So jump, about here. Actually, about this suit of armor here is where we want to throw the dove. I should mention that. Okay, let's try that again. So all the way to here. See, there we take a damage boost down. Then we are going to, as soon as we fall here, we want to try and drop down as soon as possible. Try and drop down these stairs as soon as possible. Now, this is a bit tricky, because as I understand it here, from what I did from when I tried testing this out, you can't, like, always drop down. Like, there's as soon as you start walking down, there's like a couple of frames where you can drop down instantly, and then it will stop you dropping down for a while, and then it will allow you to again. It's a bit unusual, really, but let's give it a go. So, got to be very quick on this. So there we go, jump, iframe roll, and then you will get hit through there like that. And that's the fastest way through that section. It is a little tricky. Now, you don't have to do it that quickly. You can do it like this instead, where you drop down, wait a second, and then double jump onto the sword. And that gives you a very similar result for very little time difference, really. Maybe it's half a second, if that. Okay, and that's the interesting way to get through there. Oh, I made a state here and I can't go back. I will edit in the alternate ways of maybe getting through that other first section. Right, so as for other ways to do this first bit, if you don't want to do the iframe roll damage boost, is we can roll down like this again, and if we just roll there quickly enough, throw the doves, and we can defeat that enemy. Now if you're not quick with that, you can get hit. And so a safer way of maybe doing that is perhaps, rolling towards getting the dove hits in. When you can see he's about to do the attack, just roll away and then roll back again. That's perfectly fine as well. The other safe way of sort of doing this is to do like a delayed double jump over the Sword Lord. The best way of doing that is sort of the same sort of visual cue we use to throw the dove, is just in front of the suit of armor. Do a jump and then delay slightly before the second jump, and then you'll make it all the way over the enemy. So let's try that. So about the same place, delayed jump, and we can go down the hole. That was a bit quick, so let's just do it one more time just to show it again. Delayed double jump, there we go. We double jump there before we clunk so we don't lose time, and then jump onto the sword. It's important you want to hit the sword. If you hit the knight himself, you can all go horribly wrong. You'll usually go flying backwards. So then we want to jump up here, roll here. Then we want to drop down the stairs, jump, and then double jump to the left back on the stairs. Let's show that again here. So down the stairs, double jump back onto the stairs, and then up here. It's just saving time over walking down the stairs like that, basically. So down, double jump up here, jump onto the stairs, double jump across the gap, roll into the door. Something to note, actually, if you're rolling near doors, so sometimes depending on how you time the roll, you can actually roll and get stuck under the door, and Maria will be like stuck in a crouching position, and then you've got to kind of like roll away and then roll back to, or walk back towards the door. It can be a little annoying, but it's something to bear in mind. So this is the Shaft's Ghost fight. I like to get the food that's here. You don't have to, certainly, but I think this fight can go off the rails quite quickly, so I prefer to have it. So we're just going to roll across the room here, double jump up the stairs, one more onto the platform, roll there, drop, double jump, and then roll towards the door. Okay, so this fight, this fight. So the idea here is going to be to try and juggle Shaft's Ghost back and forth. And then you can either keep doing that all the way through until the boss is dead, or when he starts to get low enough, you can have him stop when he and if you let him hit the ground, he'll stop and start one of his attacks, and it will let you get more attacks in, but you run the risk of getting hit and it all going horribly wrong. So it's up to you how you want to do this. For the juggle itself, I'm not too good at it with Maria at the moment, but ideally it's a good idea to throw the dove when Shaft is at the height of his movement. Let's see if I can try and show it, because it's a bit difficult to explain. So that the height of his movement from one side to another is when you throw the next dove, and you're sort of walking back and forth like this. So let's see, we're going to throw the first dove here. And then And if you get hit by a bat like that, that will allow Shaft's ghost to hit the ground and then it all unravels. And at that point, you're trying to hit him like this, which you can do a lot of damage like that. And it might be, maybe it is a faster way in the long term, but it can be quite a problem. If he stops on the left, he will do this behemoth attack, which is really easy to dodge, especially, you know, as Maria with the double jump. If he stops on the right, he will do the one of the wyvern attacks. The issue with the wyvern attack is not only the fire goes in all random directions and it can multi-hit you because of the lack of iframes for Maria, but if you try and double jump, hang on, let me try and show it off. If you try and double jump here to hit Shaft's ghost, you can get caught by the undead wyvern's claw quite easily. Hang on. So if I just do this, and so he gets stuck here, so now we're trying to jump to hit him and we get caught by the claw and it can very nearly one-shot you. I mean, look at that. Look how much HP we just lost from jumping into that claw, so you don't want to do that. So I prefer, if Shaft's going to stop in this fight, for him to do it on the left side. Okay, so let's try the juggle again if we can. And you can do this indefinitely, but I'm now going to stop there and see how we can get some more hits in at the end. I struggle to get hits when he's in the air there, but it's not too bad. But you can just do the juggle indefinitely until the boss is dead. It's entirely up to you. I'm not entirely sure which is quicker. I haven't really done any timing of that yet. And again, there's definitely room for optimization here. So if you have any ideas, you know, feel free to try them. You know, that's one of the fun things about a new category, is that you never know. You never know what you might find. Okay, stage 8. Right, so we're on to the last part of the run, the Dracula fight. So let's just get there first. So we're going to do a roll, double jump onto the stairs, double jump onto the platform, roll off there, and roll into the Dracula room. Okay, so optimally, first phase of Dracula is 3 cycles. So we do this by sort of standing roughly 2 blocks away. By blocks, I mean the sort of, you see on the floor there's the blocks. About 2 of those away from Dracula's where we sort of roughly want to stand. Then we want to jump and throw 2 doves, and then jump again and throw 2 more doves. This should be enough to get 3 cycle. It's the timing of it requires practice. You're gonna have to sort of develop sort of a visual cue for it. See, that was a good first lot of hits there. That wasn't. Well, actually, it was. Still did a lot of damage, even though I wasn't meant to get hit. And there we go. There's a 3 cycle. So the timing for the first jump, it's going to be easy to try and develop your own visual cue because mine's probably not very good. But what I try and do is, as the sort of cylinder of light as Dracula appears as Dracula's teleporting, as it disappears and it starts to shrink, when it's about halfway gone is when I usually try and jump. Again, you sort of get a feel for this as you sort of practice it more. And I still miss it all the time. And I suppose reaction times can sort of be different as well. See, that's looks like another decent 3 cycle. Oh my goodness. Whew, just about. That was not a good third lot of attacks though. Okay. So, on to phase 2 now. Let's let Dracula transform into the cookie monster here. So this is really just double jump as he's landing, throw loads of doves, keep jumping and throwing doves. He will jump once, and then, you know, if you've got enough hits, and you should be able to get him as he lands again. So let's try that. Double jump. Okay, and as he lands again. Oh, there we go. And usually you can get him pretty quickly like that. And that's all there is to it, really. Let's just do it one more time. See how much damage even the doves do here. And, you know, that's not too bad. And then we just collect the orb, and then timing for the run finishes once we've collected it. And there we go. Right, so that's it for the Dove-only tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was at least somewhat helpful. I do apologise, this has been my first attempt at making any sort of tutorial, so I apologise at sort of rambling out my thought process and hopefully not making a complete mess of it. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or any ideas to share, feel free to let me know. I hope you will have a wonderful rest of the day, and thank you so much for watching.